did John's connection with Nick play in his hire?
Nick who?
Foles.
Oh. I was like, Nick, who? Zero. Yeah, zero at all. Zero.
Oh, that's just not convincing. You know, I saw the words on paper, but to see that and hear it, right?
Yeah.
Doug Marrone knows he can't say anything about Nick Foles. I mean, this is why coaches get mad at the media. They tried to set him up to commit a tampering violation. Either it was clumsy or it was deliberate. But he can't talk about Nick Foles. He's the property of the Philadelphia Eagles. So what else is he going to say, guys? He can't say anything. He's got to say Nick who. He's got to say no. That is a situation where you can't say anything but no.
Nor is he going to tip his hand, I think, at this point either. So that that's the other thing. I mean, yes, that was a very nice acting job by him there altogether.
It was not a good acting job. That's what made it so good.
You know,
who?
And
Nick? No. I'm
going to throw this just out there. I think the number, like Nick Foles certainly could be there, and maybe they'd get rid of Blake and they go, let's bring Nick Foles in. But I think the biggest thing too is I think they're going to try to make a play for Dwayne Haskins. That's the where I really look at it. So yeah, maybe they get Nick Foles, but I really think the guy that they want is going to be Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. I think he fits a lot of what they are about, a big guy who can move a little bit when need be, but can throw the ball down the field. He certainly could orchestrate the DiFilippo offense as well.
Listen, everyone tampers always. Just always remember that in all sports. You know it. Everyone's talking to everyone.
But you can't do it at the podium.
No, I know. It's just so funny to me because everyone's like, oh, he can't say anything. Well, guess what? There's conversations being had right now.
Gruden said this year that he's got players texting him everywhere that they want to come play for the Raiders.
This game. It's such a silly game. Just everyone get out there and say, hey, we want Nick Foles. Who cares?
So do you want Nick Foles or Blake Bortles, or is that the dumbest question I've ever asked, Big Cat?
No, I mean, I think Jacksonville's going to move on from Blake Bortles, and that's the biggest mistake they'll ever make in their entire franchise history, but that's okay. You know what? Sometimes you gotta let people just fail over and over and over, and I know I'll disagree with Chris because he hates Blake Bortles not only as a football player, but as a person. He told me that. I have some stats for you, though. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Right.
Would you say Peyton Manning's a good quarterback?
Yes.
All right. So first 4 years in the league, Peyton Manning, 84 interceptions, Blake Bortles, 61. That's a pretty big difference.
That is a pretty big difference.
That's a pretty big difference.
Sure.
Okay. Who's the best young quarterback in the NFL right now?
The best young quarterback in the NFL right now, you want to say Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield?
No. I think there's one guy who's playing this weekend.
Well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
Right. So Patrick Mahomes,
caught me off guard
best
there.
young quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Mike, I have a question for you. Name the two quarterbacks since the merger who in their year 2 in the NFL had 4,000 yards passing, 35-plus TDs, and over 250 yards rushing.
Okay, wait, stop.
I have a feeling it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Blake Bortles.
Thank you,
I have
Mike.
a feeling I know where this is going.
It is Patrick Mahomes and Blake Bortles. They are essentially one and the same. I would take either or on my team right now.
All right, he's insane here. Okay, I like Blake Bortles the person. I really do, and I really
you didn't say that. I'll admit I lied about that.
We're having fun. I understand that, and I really do. I feel bad about this at times because I don't mean to attack anybody personally. It's really just a football thing, and I try to stay to that. Now, to Big Cat's point is stats, like the yards and the numbers. All that's great, and that looks really good. But if you went back, context matters in these situations where you go back and you go, well, damn, they were down 31-7 because he threw 2 interceptions early in the game, and the game was over, and then he got 250 yards the last 12 minutes of the game because they were being blown out. That's how you throw for 4,500 yards if you're Blake Bortles.
That sounds like the Brett Favre to me. Also a Hall of Famer. Wow. I just keep going with names.
So that is not fair. Along with something like Peyton Manning from day one, okay, just to dispel that whole number myth he had there. From
numbers never lie.
They were going, please, Peyton Manning carried the organization. From day one with Blake Bortles, they were going, oh, we hope we don't have to ever have you carry us or we're in deep crap. And we saw this year that he kind of had to carry them, and they finally said, okay, fine, we're finally admitting we're wrong here and going to move on, even though they're closing the Super Bowl window because they wouldn't check their egos at the door and move on at the appropriate time.
Well, a couple plays away from going to the Super Bowl last year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Let me take this back to where it started, though, because, Chris, you mentioned Dwayne Haskins as a possibility for the Jaguars. I would think that they would err on the side of getting a veteran because they have a team that is close and you don't want to break in a new guy. But 2 years ago, they passed on Patrick Mahomes and drafted Leonard Fournette, and you have to wonder how much they're going to be thinking about that and not wanting to miss out on somebody who could be the NFL's next big thing, whether it's Haskins, whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's whoever. Will they go the other way because they blew it with Mahomes 2 years ago? And they did blow it. Could you imagine that Jaguars team? All due respect to Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that Jaguars team with Patrick Mahomes right now? They'd be playing this weekend.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, Mahomes is special. We know that. We haven't seen many people in the history of the sport like
Well,
him.
and Blake Bortles. We have seen someone like that. His name was Blake Bortles. I prove that point.
I'm even saying the Dwayne Haskins things because, I mean, Mike, I know a few people around the NFL. I have heard through the rumorville that they're hot on Dwayne Haskins. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a move to get up the draft a little bit and make a play for him so maybe the Giants or somebody like that won't steal him first.
Yeah, they better keep their mouths shut or they're not going to have a chance at him. It's a little early to be letting the secrets out about who you're looking for. The draft isn't until late April, but we'll see how all that plays out.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.